Once a man came to the ashram of Gautam Buddha and took shelter after spending 2 days alone. He said to Buddha, "O Buddha, I have some questions in my mind. I have come to know the answers to those questions from you." Lord Buddha said, "Tell me what question you have." The man said, "I am not happy in my life at all. I am always very sad. There is no happiness in life, no happiness at all. I want to know why it happens to me." Gautam Buddha said, "First, you tell me the cause of your sorrow. What are the exact causes of your grief and anxiety?" The man thought for a while about Buddha's words and said, "What kind of question is this? I am asking you, and without answering, are you asking me again?" Buddha smiled and said, "It's your sorrow. You should know what are the causes of your sorrow." The man said, "Buddha, you are a prophet. You know how to read minds. You should know everything." Buddha smiled softly and said, "This is your mistake. You think that someone else will make you free from your grief, but it never happens. It's only you who can solve your problem. Have you ever seen flowers carefully?" The man was surprised and said, "Who has not seen flowers?" Buddha said, "The flower opens out as a bird in the morning, blooms during the day, and ends in the evening. If the flower had known that it would end in the evening, the flower would not have blossomed itself. Similarly, if you always think of sorrow, you will never be happy. There are still many things in your life that can make you live happily ever after. You can smile and you can enjoy life. You will not find happiness in life unless you follow this path. I can show you the way. I can tell you the path, but you have to do it. Only then you will be happy in life." Hearing this, the person became silent, and after thinking for a while, he said, "But Buddha, I do not understand one thing. Is it possible to solve all the problems in my life at once?" Buddha replied, "If someone comes to you and says that you will die in the next 10 minutes, you will not remember any more problem like that, because at that moment you will only think about the absolute truth of life, which is death. You will feel like, what is the use of thinking over the problems? I will leave after 10 minutes. We never think that this life is flitting. Our desires become so strong that we accept our life as immortal." He said, "Then, should I always think I'm going to die? Will that solve the problems?" Buddha said, "No, never think so. Just think that my existence in this world is uncertain, and as long as I am or will be, I will live happily. Think very carefully. You still have many things that make you happy and glad. Live with them, fix the mind, and see. There is no confusion in your mind. All the sorrows and pains of life are caused by desire. Control the mind. If you can make the mind as simple as a child, you will get eternal happiness." The man asked, "How can I control the mind? We need to know the difference between happiness and sorrow. I have to understand what is happiness to me and what is sorrow. The mind has to be controlled in such a way that it should neither be happy even in extreme happiness, nor be sad even in extreme sorrow. We must be steadfast in the middle position. If you analyze in real life, what are my sorrows or what are the causes of that sorrows? In the end, the conclusion is that the cause of all sorrows is ourselves, and the mind manages ourselves. So if you can control the mind, the sorrow will end." Buddha then said to that person, "If you can do another small thing, you will see that the sorrow in your life is gone forever." The man said with great enthusiasm, "Tell me, Buddha, what should I do?" Buddha said, "You will not talk to anyone for the next 2 days. You'll write down on a piece of paper in the solitary place thinking about your sorrows and the reasons for it, and write on another paper what happiness you still have and what are the reasons for it. Don't rush. You'll get a lot of time. Go and think perfectly." The man bowed to Buddha and went to the secluded corner of the ashram. 2 days later, he came back to Buddha with a lot of papers. Buddha said, "First, let me listen to the table of contents of your sorrow." The man began to read. "All the brothers in my family are rich. but I am poor and indebted because I am afraid to act. I raised more than act, and I always compare myself with others. My neighbors have saved a lot of money, but I couldn't. The reasons are: first, I have done this work and earned less money but spent a lot of money in bad company, even though I did not save a single penny. My wife has been ill for a long time. It is me who is responsible for this. Due to my negligence, I did not take her to any doctor and just left it to lock. And the truth is, there is a sacred desire in my mind. If this wife dies of an illness, I will remarry a faithful woman. I imagine illusory happiness all day long, and I worry and grieve as they are not fulfilled, and I drink alcohol every day to forget my sorrows, and again I am the only one responsible for this. I know I can't afford it, but I want to warn it all. Even if I don't have them, I can have a wonderful day, and I make excuses for drinking and intoxication. These are my 4 sorrows, and at the root of all sorrows are my actions and thoughts. This time Gautam Buddha smiled and said, "Well, now tell me the list of your happiness." This time the person said very enthusiastically that I am happy, and I have so much joy inside. I just realized for the first time in my life, in the last 2 days, my list of causes of happiness is so big that it will take a couple of hours to finish reading. Buddha smiled and said, "Not only for you but for all of us. The cases are the same. Only we waste precious time of life by thinking about the causes of sorrow. In fact, our life is a storehouse of happiness, peace, and joy." Well, you did not read the whole list, just read a few. The man began to read with great joy. The first joy is that I am now living in this world. I am healthy and strong. I have parents, a wife and children, like those lucky ones in the world. I have the most spacious wealth, like the affections of my parents, the love of my beautiful wife, the tenderness of my child, and my happiness of being a father. I can work, I am fit and healthy. I can improve my income by doing any work. I can happily meet the needs of all the family members. I am happy because I can build a happy family as much as I can, without comparing myself with any of my neighbors and brothers with the humanity that has been born in me by your grace. I can leave my bad habits and live in eternal peace and the greatest joy and good fortune at that. I have found a place fit of Lord Gautam Buddha by your grace. As long as I am temporarily on this earth, I'll know the truth of life, know myself with a fixed mind, and keep myself and others in eternal bliss. Buddha said, "Go back to your family. This time, you are reborn. Today, live a life of eternal peace with a stable mind. If there is a slight confusion in your mind about life, say to yourself, 'Life is too short, and I am not here to be a slave of sorrows.' Analyze and find out the cause of sorrow and destroy it immediately. Only then you will find eternal happiness and everlasting joy."